Welcome back. I'm never quite sure what to say in these introductions except just to say what I'm about to do, but I try to remind myself that some of you are watching me for the first time. If so, thank you. I'm not a titled player, I'm not a chess coach, I'm just a random person trying to get better at chess. One of my goals for this year was to break 1400 rapid on chess.com, and I'm doing poorly, as you can see from the rapid rating over there in the corner of the screen. But I am going to play a rapid game today, right here, right now, while I'm recording. Not too long ago, a month or two ago, I think, chess.com added an option here of 15 minutes with a 10-second increment, and I've tried that a couple of times but never got anyone paired with me. So I usually end up playing the 10-minute rapid games with no increment. But I'm going to try the 15-10 and see if I get paired with somebody, and then we'll see how that goes. Oh, I did get paired. Okay. Well, then we'll try a 15-10 game. Oh, we're going to get the Englund Gambit. How exciting. I don't like the Englund Gambit at all. I really don't. Because usually the people who play it have played it a lot and they know exactly what they're doing. At least the first few lines. See here, they want me to take so they can do this. And I have to take with my king and then they'll do this. But I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to play that first and then they'll take that pawn. Yeah, see, I didn't fall for their little trap. We'll see what happens and how they play out the rest of this game. But they are going to get that pawn back. Oh, now they're going to wait. Okay. Well, we can wait a little bit because instead of a 10-minute rapid game, we have a, okay, you know what? I'll just take it with my queen and then I can get my bishop out and castle. I don't know why I wouldn't put it all the way there and then castle. My opponent can castle now too if they want to. I've never actually reached this position in the Englund Gambit because everyone else falls for the little trap. That didn't come out right, but usually they play differently after I don't fall for the trap, is what I meant to say. But I was thinking about my move while I was also talking, which is not the best idea. That's aiming for this undefended pawn. I can defend it in a number of ways, 2 ways. I can pull this back. I can get this knight out, but that knight there is in danger, so I think I will just pull my bishop back here to defend that pawn. And I'm trying to remember that I have a little extra time in this game, because I am not accustomed to having this much time in a rapid game. In fact, at the rate we're playing right now, we'll never run out of time because we're averaging, at least I am averaging less than 10 seconds per move. So I have more than 15 minutes remaining. That feels nice. All right, my opponent is going to castle now, I think, one way or the other. One side or the other, I'm not sure which. My plan, depending on what they do, is to get out this knight to c3, perhaps develop this bishop. Okay, they did castle to that side. I would like to get this knight out, but then I'm not sure where I'm going with it. Another thing I can do now is put this knight here, asking this bishop where it wants to be. Wait, then they could just take, but then I could take, and I think I would be all right. Now let's go ahead and get the knight out first, and then I can put this knight over here, aiming at that bishop and that at the same time, plus also protecting this square for when I challenge the other bishop, maybe. Or I can bring it back here to protect that square. But one of my plans at this point has to be getting this out. Okay, they've challenged this knight, but I definitely need to get this out at some point. You know what, though? I was about to put this here, and they were guarding that square. Now they're not guarding that square anymore. So I think I'm going to go there and ask this bishop where it wants to go. I assume it will back up, but either way, I should be able to develop my dark squared bishop at that point. That way I can connect the rooks and have a little bit more mobility. And I am watching this pawn as well because of my bishop pointing at it, but right now they're protecting their f-pawn with their knight moves. So let's see if they figure out where to put that bishop. They didn't. I think in this position, the bishops are going to end up being more important than knights, but I don't know. I do know I can threaten their rook. No, I can't because their bishop's there. Wow. I was about to threaten their rook and then try to pick up this pawn, but their bishop is guarding that square. Wait, but my bishop's guarding that square too. Let's do that. If they take it, I'll take it. And then I don't have to worry about their light squared bishop being out there anymore. They might just move the rook. That's a possibility as well. Oh, they didn't. Okay, well, let's check. I still want to get this guy out, but now where's he going to go? Let's put it here. I think that bishop is safe for the time being. I don't see a way they can immediately challenge it. I mean, they can eventually challenge it, just not this moment. And I have multiple options, ways to bring that bishop back if they do figure out a way to challenge it, that I don't think they can block the... Okay, see, now they're challenging the bishop. They want to move this knight out of the way, and then I'll have to get the bishop out, I think. But I want to first get this bishop out and see where that knight goes. Now my rooks are connected. They're going to have access to this open file here. Now they're going to move that knight, I assume. Maybe here, maybe there. And then I will move my bishop probably this way so it can continue pointing at that king, toward that king in general. Oh, I have dropped below 15 minutes, finally. I mean, I didn't have to wait on that. I had already decided that, assuming that they were going to move the knight out of the way. Okay, now they're going to pretend to come for the bishop. I guess I could have gone there, but what I would like to do now, I think, is start attacking that castled king. But should I worry about this? I shouldn't, because they can't actually attack it right now, can they? I guess the knight could get out of the way, and then they could push the other pawn, but if they do that, I can go back where I was, I think. Okay, I'm gonna launch pawns toward their king, and now this also protects this square in case I want to challenge their bishop. See, are there any other infiltration points? If they do try to launch this pawn forward like I was talking about, okay, see, they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They're about to launch this pawn forward, and I think I can just put this back right here. And now that pawn coming forward isn't aiming at my bishop anymore. I would also like to put this knight in here, so if they do launch that pawn forward, my knight will be aiming at this pawn, which will then be unprotected. Because right now their g-pawn is protecting their f-pawn. Okay, they did that. I'm going to do this, aiming for that pawn, and see what they do. I assume they're going to move their knight again. If so, I'm just going to drop back one. Or they might take it, and then I'll take. But those are the two options that I see them doing, is either taking my knight, in which case we'll trade, or going over there, in which case I'll drop back this way. Oh, they did take. Okay. They're aiming right here with their knight and their bishop. I can just move this forward, right? Oh, I just noticed my bishop's aiming at that, but their knight's protecting it. But now their knight's going to move. Or they might check me first, in which case I'll go here. And they won't get a pawn out of it, because I moved this pawn. And then their knight won't be protecting their f-pawn anymore. That was my plan. And let's see how it works. I don't know where they're going to move that knight. Back here, maybe? Or back there, I guess. Ah, they could go there with it. Then I wouldn't be aiming at that anymore. Not bad. Okay. Well, let's see what they do. I also noticed that this bishop was hanging. If they had checked me, this bishop would have been left undefended. Let's defend that bishop in the middle by moving this rook over here to d1. I think that we're doing okay. It feels like we're fairly even, but I know I have a one-pawn advantage. But my opponent has both their rooks on the two files where they don't have pawns, so I don't know how great my advantage is here. I think I want to go on with my business of launching these pawns toward their king. One problem that I have here is that their knight is aiming at this square, and this pawn is the only thing keeping it from getting there. So if I move this pawn to support that, to support this, and so on, then their knight could drop in here. Oh, wait. If their knight drops in there now, I'll just take it with my rook. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's got to be my plan at this point. Okay. They're just shoving pawns forward, looks like. I don't think I should be afraid of these pawns. Should I? Let's see. If I go here, that's threatening their knight. So I think they would take. And then I would take back, right? And then they would still have to move their knight. That does open up my king a little bit because they do have a dark squared bishop. And my king is on a dark square. But I'm going to do it. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, I think they're going to take, and then I'll take back. And I'm going to take back with the pawn to, number one, keep these pawns connected, and number two, to not put my rook in the line of that bishop. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and pre-move that, assuming that's what they'll do. It might not be a good idea to open up my king again, but, I mean, they can check me right now. They can. They can check me with their dark, with their dark squared bishop right now, and then I'll just move over one, and their knight and whatnot will still be in danger there. Wait, no, they can't check me, because that's a pre-move. Oh, wow. Yeah, that diagonal's not open just yet. Okay, there's still a pawn there. If they move there, that pawn is undefended, and I'll need to defend it some way, perhaps by moving this bishop back here to c1. That's a possibility. Yeah, I think if they move there to pin this rear pawn, then I'll put the bishop there to pin it. I mean, to put on it, but oh wait. Oh, they moved the knight back. Okay, that's interesting. Now their rook. Okay, so my pre-move didn't work. I thought they were gonna take here and I would take back. And now this pawn is undefended and that rook is pointed at it. Well, we can defend that rear pawn this way, as we discussed, but then they still might do that. My opponent seems to be playing fairly well, other than trying the Englund Gambit at the beginning and then not knowing what to do when I didn't fall for the trap. Hopefully I'm playing well also. For all I know, we've both made tons of blunders. Okay, they did take. Oh, I just realized they now have two attackers on that. Let's do it. Assume they'll take with the knight, and that would be aiming at this bishop on it. But then I can put the bishop there, maybe. Or here. Here. Yeah, here's probably best, because from there they could also be aiming down here to e2. Okay, so if they take that with the knight, I'm going to pull this bishop back. If they take it with the bishop, I'm going to trade and then pull the bishop back. I think those are the only two things that are possible here, but who knows? They might surprise me once again. Because, again, I assumed they were going to take there and they didn't. Well, that's not what I expected at all. I guess they were guarding against me going here? That's interesting. Okay. Well, then I should probably go ahead and pull this bishop back first. Yeah, they keep surprising me. I think I should pull this bishop back first and then go there. Or should I go ahead and push the pawns like my plan was all along? Plus, that would keep them from checking me here. I'm going to do that. It still might be best to go here, thinking about going over there. Okay, aiming for the bishop. All right, well, I was about to do that anyway. So let's do that. Thinking about coming over to h5, where their knight is unguarded. Okay, they're lining up here. If I go there, I assume they're going to take this pawn and then be threatening my knight. I really don't know what to do. This is a very odd position to me. Okay, they did take that. I'm going to trade. I assume they're going to take it. Okay, and then I'm going to take that rook, and then I'm going to take this pawn, assuming they take my rook back. If they do something different, oh, they did that. Okay, I'm going to take this pawn, which threatens their rook, and then if they take back with their pawn, I'm going to take back this way. They didn't. Okay, well, then I'm going to take that pawn. I assume they're going to take this one. I want to be careful here because I am in a little bit of a pickle where their knight is aiming, but I think their king can't escape right now, so I think I want to go here and then checkmate them on the back rank. That's my plan. This is protected. The knight can't attack either one of them immediately. It can check me here. That's possible. But my plan is to go there and checkmate. Let's see what my opponent does. Okay, well, they've stopped that plan, didn't they? Okay, and now I can't go here, here. But their knight is pinned for the time being. And I can't move there to threaten the knight. Oh, I can move here to threaten the knight. If it goes there, oh, now their king can take my pawn. That's okay. If the king takes my pawn, I'm going to get their knight. And if the knight moves, I'm going to go check, and then they'll get the pawn, and we'll figure it out from there. But yeah, the bishop was protecting the pawn. I could also check here if they take the pawn. Yeah, that was a little messed up on my part. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm going to take the rook then. And then I'm going to move my bishop because it's in danger from that knight. And I'm going to try to get out in here with my king. I also would like to get this pawn up there as soon as possible. Although with that knight, they could probably get behind it pretty quickly. I'm going to come this way. I assume they're going there to look at both of these pawns. Yeah. Okay. If they take that one down there, I'm going to trade for it. And I think I can maybe pull this off. Actually, no, I'm going to push this forward. Should I trade it off and then try to get one of these pawns in advance? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we're in an endgame now. Deep in an endgame. They're going to come get this pawn and try to advance theirs. I got to clean up 2 pawns and then go. You know what? Instead of taking that and then trying to take that, you know what I should do on my next turn? Is throw this forward. If they en passant it, I can take it, and then this pawn is passed. If they take here, I can take it, and then that one, I think. And if they don't take, this pawn will already be there. I think that's my better move. My opponent has 1, and then they have to get out of the way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 moves to promotion. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I also have 8 moves to promotion, depending on how I do this. Yeah, I don't think this is good because, wait, no, it is good, right? Take here, take. Okay. Well, that's what I had planned to do. Oh, they already moved that? Okay. Well, then this one's going all the way. And I'm ahead. They pre-moved and not expecting what I was going to do. And they can't move that pawn now. Yes. They move that pawn, I get it. Oh, they did move the pawn. Okay. I think my opponent's pre-move saved me there because they did not expect me to play g4. If they had considered that as an option, I think they would have taken one or the other way when I played g4. But instead, they'd already pre-moved that king move. Okay, well, they're taking their time now. Neither one of their pawns can move right now, which is good for me. My king and my pawn are keeping them from there, and my king is keeping them from getting there. So my plan is to slowly but surely cut off ranks and files from their king. Wherever their king goes, I'm going to try to get a little closer and try to limit the space that their king has on the board. In fact, I might want to limit it on the side that it's already on. So if it moves toward the center, for example, I can come here, and that will cut off this rank in this file and keep the king trapped over there. Then my king can take care of these 2 pawns so I don't have to worry about him. Actually, I don't have to worry about, oh, see, there it moved. Okay. See, now he's trapped on this side of the board. I'm going to take care of this pawn so I don't have to worry about it. And the other one is stuck. So I am going to just come closer to this king and get it trapped in a smaller, oh, okay. They resigned. I almost kind of wanted to play that out so it could be a lesson, but I do already have a video on how to checkmate with just a queen and a king, in case you're interested and don't know that yet. It says was really very bad endgame, a good sport. Oh, that's ironic that their username is really very bad endgame, because I was winning here in this endgame. And the evaluation says I have a mate in 7 or 6, depending on where they move. I was pretty sure it was within 10, something like that. Okay, I'm going to run the game review. Don't know why it says my rating is 1352 down there at the bottom. It's done this before. It's given me a completely oddball rating. You saw that my rating during that game was 1296. Okay, now it says 1305. It changed after the game review ran. That's interesting. And according to the eval graph at the top, I was ahead the entire time except right near the middle. Apparently I made a mistake and my opponent did not capitalize on it, and I remained ahead for the entire game. I did not know that. I knew I was ahead at the beginning because the Englund Gambit always puts white ahead, according to Stockfish. Stockfish always thinks white is ahead in the Englund Gambit. But I did not know that I was ahead all that distance until right there in the middle when we were about even, and then I was ahead the whole way after that. It says I had 4 misses and 3 mistakes. We're going to take a look at a couple of those. I don't know. I don't think probably, let's just look at this one here. C3 was a mistake, and that brought us back to even. Okay, so before that, I was doing that to start building up the pawn wall. I remember that. It's probably bad because it blocks in my dark squared bishop. That was probably the downside of that. But I have a plus 3.75. Should I have just traded for the knight? Surely not. Or is here where I should have played f4? I have no idea. I am going to click to the analysis tab and see what it says. Bishop to e4. Oh, it doesn't say plus 3. It says plus 1. So the game review thinks that this position is plus 3.7, but the analysis board says it's closer to plus 2, plus 1.9, only if I play bishop to e4. I could play bishop to c3 or rook f to e1. What would bishop to c3 do? I have no idea. It looks like it would just block my c-pawn. But I did that, and my opponent should have immediately played c6. Then they did play that a little later, but here what they played instead was their second or third best move, which was f5. Okay, see, now Stockfish thinks I should go ahead with my plan of b4, or maybe even c4, it thinks. c4 and b4 are about equal. f4 is a close second, and that's what I played. Okay, close second to the other two, so technically third place. That is what I played. Was it their best move to take their knight back? It was not. Their best move was to take, but instead they brought their knight back. That gave me plus 4, and I should have gone back there. But wait, wouldn't they have then just, oh no, they couldn't protect both of them. I would have won the knight, but I didn't see it. I was so focused on this situation right here that I went ahead and protected here. That took away most of my advantage, but they should not have taken. They did. And again, I should have forked, but I didn't. I did my second best move, and they did not do one of their top 3 moves, but it still wasn't horrible. b4 is one of my better moves, which was my plan over there. They should have played a5 here, it says. But instead they played c6. That's what they should have played earlier, was their best move to challenge the bishop. Oh, and it says b3. Oh, that makes sense. Why didn't I think of putting it there? That's a good spot for it to help protect these pawns as they go. Well, I didn't think of that. I came over here, which wasn't good. It gives up this pawn. Should they have taken the pawn? Oh no, they should have played a5 again. Okay, but they didn't. They did that. Doubling up here. And again, I don't have a huge advantage at this point. I didn't think I did, but why did the graph show that? Over here, the graph shows I have a huge advantage. The graph thinks I'm up plus 2.5, but I'm actually up plus 1.3. And b5 now is not among my best moves. King to h2. I don't get that. That looks bad. Why is that my best move? They have 2 pieces pointed right there. And I was pretty sure they were going to take here. My king was here, and they took there. Then anywhere they moved that knight, that's a check. I don't know about that, but that's what it says. Or rook d to e1. Okay, I guess to get out of the line of that, but instead I played b5, which again brings us almost back to even. And they did not play their best move, which was to take that pawn. Instead, they took that pawn, which allowed me to trade off. Oh, it says I should have taken the rook first. But I took that first, and they took back. And then I took their rook. So them taking that pawn was a problem for them because of this. Well, I knew once they took that I was going to take the pawn. That was my best move. Okay, good. They're supposed to take back with the pawn, but they didn't. I was expecting them to take back with the pawn, in which case I was going to take back with my bishop. But instead they did that. I guess aiming for this pawn. And it was my best move to take that. Now I'm up +3 or 4. They did take that pawn. What says rook to e1 was best? Well, that makes sense. Because then I couldn't have been blocked by the knight. Yeah, I played the wrong move here. It was my third best move, but that has the disadvantage of being blockable, which is what they played. It was not a good idea to threaten it with the rook. I should have come up one. Should have just stayed there, keeping the knight locked in place and keeping the rook locked in place defending the knight. Well, I did that, and they should have played knight to c5. Wait, how would knight to c5 have helped? Oh, because my bishop's not defending the pawn anymore, I don't have the mate threat. Okay. Okay, but they didn't play that. They played rook to c1, which gave up the rook, and I have a +3. But you wouldn't think it, would you, based on what's on the board, me with just a 1 pawn advantage at this point. But I was pretty sure I could win here. At this point, I was pretty sure I could clip off these 2 pawns. I could trade my bishop for the knight over there and maybe pull this off. Bishop to f3 was not my best move. Wow, I should have played bishop to c4 at this point. Oh, trapping the knight. I should have trapped the knight. No wonder I had such an advantage. That bishop would have cut off all the knight's squares from there. Their king would have had to take this pawn and then come try to get this bishop. Okay, instead I did that. They went there. Wait, where should they have gone? Knight to d3 or f4. Well, now Stockfish is saying f4 is better. But they went there and that gave me the huge advantage. Oh, and I should have played g3 now? Really? I wouldn't have expected g3 or g4 even. Came with my king, which takes away most of my advantage, but they didn't play f4. I know why they need to play f4, because that way when I do this, they can take either way, and whichever one takes, the other one's protected. Maybe that's it. They took that. I took back. They took back. That's what we thought. I came forward, and now I have a +10 here. Okay, I was pretty sure. And they didn't even play their best move. Wait, what was their best move? Oh, they had to come this way? Oh no, it says +55 there now too. And okay, see, when we were back here before, I'm backing up now. It was not +55. Yeah, see, it didn't say +17 there. Or there. Now it's +21. Okay, earlier it didn't say that, but now it does. Now Stockfish is very, very convinced that I can take this. And I did, and they did not play their best move. They made it much worse. And I went there. They took that pawn. And g4 was okay, g4 or g3. It says it doesn't matter. But I don't know if you can see those. This right here is what I think sealed the deal for me, because I still probably could have messed up this endgame. But by going g4, which my opponent did not expect, my opponent expected me to play g3, I think. Or they expected me to take this pawn first, because they pre-moved their next move. That move happened as soon as I played this. I think if they had waited and seen me play this, they would have either taken or en passanted it. That helped me a lot right there, the fact that they didn't. According to the Stockfish evaluation, it doesn't say it helped me that much, but it helped me a lot in this pawn race because I had counted how many squares we had to move. But if I get to start from up here, I'm ahead in this race. And that's what happened. I got to start from there, and now I'm 3 squares from promotion, whereas they're 6 squares from promotion. Well, 4. I don't know what they should have done there. They probably shouldn't have moved that pawn. Yeah, they should have played one of those. But you know what? If they had done that, I didn't have a chance to say it during the game, but my plan was to get in front of that pawn because their king could never come around and get to me. My king could clean up these pawns and then come over here to help. If you made it this far, once again, I thank you for watching. Those of you who have subscribed, I really appreciate it. But most of all, I appreciate those of you who give me comments, whether they're encouraging comments or suggesting things that I should do differently or pointing out things that I missed. All of that helps a lot. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.